Hey YouTube, welcome back. This is Sonia here. Hope you're all well. So today we're going to talk about the beautiful Suarez and the infamous Mr. Gray Hughes. I seriously feel as though I need a ding ding for round 2 edited in here, but for now I'm low budget, so just pretend you heard it, because seriously, this kicks off. Let me get stuck in. So a few days ago now, I saw in my feed the fabulous Cece had uploaded a vid covering someone that's been in the circle of true crime that I've watched and observed for a very long time at this point. Gray Hughes investigates. A bit of backstory, okay? So I unsubbed Gray 2 years ago for reasons, but when Delphi started this year, I was super intrigued into his take. As objectively speaking, true crime is kind of his forte. Now don't get me wrong, I love a factual conspiracy of a truth cover-up, but these crazy conspiracies that some of these true crime channels come up with for every single case, and their ability to manipulate their audience into going along with these mind-bending, factually incorrect theories, even for the sake of humouring the theory or the storyteller, count me out. I haven't got time for the madness. Also, I cannot stand the way many of them target families and friends of the victims in these true crime cases, and I say cases purposefully because that's what they are. They are not stories where the creator gets to narrate the story in a way that they'd prefer it when, regardless of what the known evidence shows. Anyway, back to Cece. So she has made this video, okay, calling Gray out, and I will leave her channel linked below. And of course the 2 videos that I'm going to be discussing in relation to this. Well, anyway, so she makes this video doing a reaction to his constant pushing of people to donate, pretty much, right? And he has responded. He fired off a round of emails in 30-minute intervals, basically telling her that her opinions were all wrong, and the good he does in his eyes should mean she overlooks her gripes and removes the videos. So 1 second, I'm going to pull one of these emails up. So this is what I believe to be the first email, which you should be seeing on the screen now, which I'll read aloud in case you're just not at your screen and listening along. Here we go. It's very disappointing you decided to attack my channel. What you don't seem to realise, nor likely will care, is that my channel has donated over $235K to charity in the last 5 years, and that's why I push so hard to bring in super chats. The donations are made from my income, not doing fundraisers. I have given Texas EquiSearch over 20K. I have given NCMEC over 20K. And RAIN, which is Violence Against Women, over $20K. I have also given 2 years in a row now $6K to scholarships for kids in the criminal justice world. I have given over $100K to a DNA fund we created that identifies Jane and John Does. Much more money has been given to other charities out there. My channel takes the facts in cases and put the information together in a way that is understandable. The live stream at times bring in the most revenue that allow me to keep being able to give away a lot of money as well. Videos like yours seem to be an attempt to keep that from happening. Will you pick up the pace and donate over 50K a year in my place? Please consider taking down the video as it's actually inaccurate and defamatory. Thank you, Gray Hughes. Email number 2. You called me grey pubes, and that's a term the trolls on Reddit, which all stemmed from a disgruntled moderator. I have been on Quote TV over a dozen times and various other networks. I would think if my work sucked, they likely wouldn't have me on. Please reconsider affiliating yourself with these people. You seem better than that. The 3rd one. You also mentioned that my theories are dangerous, which is a complete lie and defamatory. My theories are accurate and are from the probable cause in cases. You seem to have given your ear to lunatics out there. Yes, sometimes I get frustrated on my show, but I know what it takes to support my channel, and then be able to give away a ton of money each month so that we as a channel can make a difference in the real world. My channel, unlike yours, isn't about clicks and views and wanting to be liked. I would hate to have to get attorneys involved. Your video is defamatory and false, and I am letting you know that. Great. And I should have prefaced this at the beginning, to be honest, but I'll just say it here. Please do not direct or send any hate to anybody mentioned in this vid. I'm giving some commentary on things that I find interesting, and manipulation, dissecting it, noticing patterns is something that comes natural to me. You may not see what I see. It doesn't mean it isn't present, but differing opinions are welcome in the comment section below. So CC responded to him. One second. Now this is funny. Greetings, Gary. Thank you for the midnight flurry of emails. They were truly captivating and entertaining. I mean this with little respect. I do not care about the charities your unlikable channel has contributed to, your opinions of my channel content, or anything else you have to say. My channel is opinion based. I present information from the internet and give my opinion and commentary. I am a full-time commentary creator. I do publish content to get clicks and views. I love this straw man fallacy. What a groundbreaking concept. Content is posted publicly to be viewed by the public. Opinions are not defamation. Published opinions, clearly stated as such, regarding a public figure, are not libel. You are a public figure, and my commentary content is opinion-based. You are not familiar with me, and therefore not familiar with my audacity. I love that for you. My business address is included below in my signature. Please have your legal representative mail a physical copy of your threats as I crumple up every one I receive and put it into a fillable base of a lamp in my office. I would love to add it to the collection. I have attached a picture of the lamp so you can fully appreciate it in all its glory. With opinions and chaotic energy, CC. And so, as I said earlier, I went back to resubbing Gray during Delphi. But after that case was over, I just personally couldn't handle anymore. And I'll tell you for why. I cannot stand the way he berates and targets and attempts to manipulate his chatters. I've had periods where I genuinely thought it's just me because I identify as HSP and I'm diagnosed and on the spectrum. So I know that my weakness can be in how I perceive social situations. However, and I say that in capitals, that doesn't mean I'm stupid or that things aren't happening that are all out of my perception. Is like all my perception is not inherently wrong, okay? It doesn't mean that, not at all. It makes me, what it does is it makes me more cautious in how I do perceive things and really take a longer than normal look at situations, pause, reflect, consider other viewpoints, run things over, draw comparisons, and really be sure before I do make an observation or form an opinion. And much to say, I am human as any neurotypical. We're all prone to mistakes during human interactions from time to time. I don't have regular issues. In real life, I make friends easily. I've always got on well with clients when working for myself, or similarly when working alongside work colleagues. I care a lot about making another person comfortable and for them to feel at ease. And I say all this because I'm about to read a comment of mine that I left recently on a clip channel that, funnily enough, showed up in my feed covering all things Gray Hughes recently. And the thing, or the things that I said in that comment fit so much of what CC is discussing, which is why I'm going to include it here and read it out in the name of full transparency. I actually left the comment more because not saying anything when you witness what you genuinely believe to be manipulative or heavy-handed tactics meant to coerce people that don't notice them into doing things for the benefit of another is just not okay. So here we go. I'll be reading it out in case you're not at your screen. Why doesn't he donate less and keep more, or give up more of his wage and stop pressuring people who clearly can't donate to donate? Why doesn't he put this effort into lobbying local councils or governments for grants? Why doesn't he realise that nothing bad will happen if he doesn't donate as often, but something bad will happen if all the people feel is pressure in his chats to donate constantly? How realistically can the same group donate night after night? We come on here, many of us, because it's free and it's an escape. Well, I can no longer watch. Nothing bad will happen to his charities if they don't get a regular donation, but families struggling right now will have something bad happen if they cave to the pressure because of his constant guilt trips and manipulative tactics to get people to hand cash over. Never, ever is he just happy people show up. The way he speaks to those people is outrageous, and just because they say nothing doesn't mean how he treats them is okay. To observe it is just crazy. He's so out of touch. He will ask people why they don't chat, but when they chat to each other, he tells them off, calls them out and ridicules them, telling them, nobody knows what you're saying, or what are you talking about, or stick to the topic, etc., etc. If they type, I agree, he'll tell them, I don't need you to agree with me, thanks. So then nobody will chat because they're walking on eggshells. Then he gets mad because his chat's not moving, and threatens them with ending the stream if nobody chats. Why doesn't he give them a list of what they can and can't say and make their lives easier? I see several regular chatters get singled out in a mean way. I think one was called Sheila, perhaps, and another lady called Cindy. He had the nerve to blame because people had a problem with how he spoke to her. He literally blamed her, which I'm talking about Cindy here, because people, I assume in this comment thread under this channel, because he was muttering about all these comments people had left in her comment section, so I assume it was this channel that he'd been talking about at the time that I was unaware of, had something to say about the way he speaks to her. He calls it's just like family round the Christmas table. He normalises verbal abuse, is what he's doing. It isn't healthy to speak to people that way, and the proof of that is when somebody critiques him, he flies off the handle, yet expects them to take it because he's Gray Hughes. And what I mean by that is, if somebody says anything about the way he speaks, he says, oh, come on, we're just like a family round the Christmas table. We have a bit of an argument, we did have a bit of a disagreement, but then we all get along 5 minutes later. For a long time, I respected what he did and chatted once, this is many years ago, and my personality can't stand that kind of spotlight or being ridiculed for absolutely nothing. It makes me withdraw, so I just watch from time to time instead. He reckons if you say you once liked him, you're a liar. He uses a narcissistic tactic of controlling everybody, controlling everything you're allowed to say and think, and he just calls everything wrong, so he never has to be accountable or self-responsible. In its simplest form, along with other things, it's called blame shifting, stonewalling, bait and switch. There isn't any criticism that man is open to hearing. If his chatters agree with him or say something similar to what he said, he tells them, you're only saying that because I did. I go on again. He has to be the smartest in the room. Nobody could have been typing that same thing that he was about to say at the same time, or can ever have the same thought that he has. He thinks only he is as smart as him. He has zero self-awareness, and the only people he's nice to consistently that I've noticed are the experts he gets on panel. And in my opinion, he donates for the prestige of it, not for the altruistic sake of giving from the heart. And if he donates 30k and he's given away half, he also made 30k. He has new cars with private registrations, expensive dogs, a nice home, expensive clothes and hobbies, nice trips and holidays. When was the last time his chatters had any of that, struggling in the real world? He went bonkers when that lady suggested he do a night of giving to the mods, which was Cindy, I believe. He was asking his chat for ideas of things he could do, and Cindy and a couple of others said, oh, maybe you could do a mod night, a night for the mods. I mean, he was outraged. She suggested that, and even at one point accused her of only suggesting that to get him into trouble with the people that are commenting on this random channel talking about him. Literally. I don't know how she sits in that chat. I really don't, the way he treats her. He went bonkers when that lady suggested he do a night of giving to the mods. That's the altruist in him, though, I expect, right? He's just plain mean, and it's time people woke up instead of allowing all the coercive control. And just because you don't see the manipulation, it doesn't mean it's not there. And this is all just in my humble opinion. I will leave the channel, YouTube, Bad Actors, I believe it's called, where I left this comment. For me personally, I know Gray will brush this entire thing off, even this video if he happens to come across it, and say that I'm a hater or something else derogatory. And this is the problem, and why my ass personally felt kicked into making this video, because I believe at this point he's possibly too far gone for any self-insight. And long term, I think if he doesn't get a handle on his hubris and arrogance, he's about to lose absolutely everything he's worked so hard for. Some people will write to him and say, because I've heard him read these things out or mention them from comment sections, some will write to him and say, I like you, or I watched you a really long time, Gray. And he goes on and just eviscerates these people in these emails, in his chats. And as you saw in those emails that he wrote to Cece, he's given away approximately 235k. And he says he's given away half of what he earns. So that number would have been £470,000, right? £470,000. So divided over the last 4 years is a sum of £47,000. Dollars. And that's per year, minus super chats, minus memberships, minus other donations of PayPal and Cash App, etc. And as I said, he eviscerates these emails he gets sent, or the people that are writing these emails, and ridicules the sender, just leaving nobody a way to communicate with him. Any kind of constructive criticism or any way to be honest with him about how they feel. So when he asks questions, why aren't people chatting? Or where did everybody go? People have been trying to tell you, Gray. And as I said in that comment, he's bought a brand new Subaru. He has a private registration, which is all things I've heard him say. Private registration plate, regularly takes trips. He's always in the latest Under Armour get up, smart trainers. He has all these tablets, devices, his setup. He has drones, programs, cameras. He's just bought another 2 pedigree chihuahuas. I mean, that certainly isn't going on in my life, not even one of those things. And I probably am more his demographic, or a huge chunk of it, people like me living with a tight budget. And this is my point. His chat will tell him they're struggling and try and help him understand when he's banging on constantly about money, all the time. And even when I watched during Delphi, I felt bad watching silently because I had nothing extra to donate. I would feel, and this is me, somebody that has no ties, no emotional connection whatsoever to this man, or whatsoever. I would feel guilt and feel bad and literally have to give myself a talking to snap out of it. And I'm completely indifferent to the man. So imagine hearing what you think, hearing this from somebody that you do have an emotional connection to, a bond, right? How would think about how that pressure and coercion feels and what that must do to their minds. Because I mean, most of us listen to YouTube because it's free. It's about the last thing on earth you can do for free, right? And we listen to escape, we watch things to escape the drab, the ultra stressful real world, to take time out, to wind down, chill out, chat with the friends that we've made in these online communities. And I just want to be clear. Gray's true crime, from me personally, is not what the issue is right here. And me not wanting him to do good, that's absolutely not up for discussion. I want good for everybody. I want it's possible to love all humans, have a love for humanity, want the best for humanity, and still be able to critique or, like for myself, see where there's room for growth and room for improvement. There is that in all of us, okay? So I'd say this to him. take the criticism from your watchers, ignore me, from your watchers, and stop banging on about money all the time. Do some streams where you don't mention money at all. Give these people, while you've still got them, a mental break from hearing it. Listen to their feedback, because I can see they respect him greatly, and objectively, I don't care if somebody is a CEO or a floor sweeper or a glass collector. You treat people kindly. You don't keep making them feel called out or maligned because they can't drop $2 every night so that you can do what you want to do with their money. Okay, nobody can afford to give to a charity 7 nights of every week, 4 weeks of every month, right? 52 weeks of every year. Nobody. And I say all that, okay, but I already know these arrogant YouTubers who feel entitled to their subscribers' donations of money never, ever, ever take advice. They never grow from feedback or constructive criticism, and they never change. There is always, along with their hubris, a reason to justify their meanness, their out of sorts or unacceptable behaviour, and one by one they all fall down and are never what they once were. And here's another point, because he likes to say, I think he references 2020, whether 2020 was his most successful year of donations. This competition of beating that number, right? Because he always references another period of time. I may be wrong, which saying it's 2020, but he always references a particular year or month or time when they sent this much then and this much, and it's never been that much since. We've gone down, down, down every year since that, right? That competition of beating that number is totally unnecessary. It's an imagined competition that doesn't matter one iota. It doesn't make a difference to the charities. It doesn't make a difference to your personal life. Nothing. It's all about, it's prestige and it's arrogance to be able to sit there and say, 1 year we sent 50, then we sent 60, then we sent 70k, then we sent 80. Who's that to impress? Because if your people can't give it, they can't give it. Anyway, I think I have gone on long enough and more than made my point, okay? So if you don't mind, please leave me a comment below. You don't have to agree at all. Hit the like, subscribe if you haven't already. Love lots. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now, lovelies.